Hi, this is Shambhavi. Welcome to my weekly podcast about spirituality, love, death, devotion, and waking up while living in a messy world. The Satsang with Shambhavi podcast is recorded live each week with students of our nonprofit community, Jayakula. For more information and to find out about attending a satsang, visit jayakula.org. Thanks for listening. Much love to you, wherever and however you are. I've often compared the spiritual teacher to the vampire at the door. Meaning that if you know the legends of vampires, that you have to let the teacher in. Students sometimes look up at teachers as if we're these all-powerful beings, but we actually have very little power over you. In fact, hardly any. If you're fooled by a teacher who's not a good teacher, that's your lack of clarity. If you decide you don't want help that a teacher has to offer, that's your decision, that's your karma. Even the greatest teacher, even the most enlightened teacher can't do anything without your permission. That's just the way nature works. So Anandamayi Ma, my guru, gave a teaching about this, very, very short teaching. She excelled at giving teaching that took everybody else hours to give in, a couple of sentences, written in extremely simple language. This is 3 sentences. For one who knows me, I am one with him. In order to give that permission for a teacher to work with you, you have to already know something about who you really are. For one who knows me, I am one with him. For one who already knows a little bit about me, a little bit about their own essence nature, because the teacher is just an external reflection of your own essence nature. There's a teaching that's going around, being gossiped about at the spiritual water cooler, that the guru is within. You don't need an external guru. The guru is within. This is a perverted teaching. The guru is within. But it's precisely to find that out that you need an external teacher. When people just say, oh, teachers are, worthless, they're all cheats and liars, bah humbug. We have to start a new age of no teachers. This is just small self talking, lack of understanding, ignorance. The teacher is a gift from your own essence nature to you. It's just a natural circumstance. There's nothing artificial about it at all. And that teacher's job is to reflect to you your essence nature, and then you can have guru in your heart and guru everywhere. But in order to be the best kind of student who can experience this reflection of your own essence nature from the teacher, you actually must already know something about your own essence nature. It's kind of weird. But in order to feel the transmission, in order to receive the message, in order to see the reflection, there has to be something in you already awake that can do that. So a teacher cannot work on a very, very intimate level with someone who doesn't already have some awakening. It's kind of interesting. For one who knows me already, I am one with him. There's a kind of Neo-Tantra-esque book by Daniel Odier. I forget what it's called. Oh, it's called Tantra Quest. And in the very beginning, the author is wandering around in an Indian forest and comes upon the mythical yogini who's going to teach him all about Tantra. And that teacher says to him, I can't teach you unless you're already a little bit enlightened. That's the case. For one who wants to know me, I am very near to him. So if you have a desire to know yourself, when Ma says to know me, she means to know yourself. She is fully understanding that she is your own self, and that the only reason to work with a teacher is to know your own self. So for one who wants to know me, who has that desire, I am very near. The desire to know yourself, even in an ordinary way, not even necessarily in a spiritual way, is that voice of the Guru in you. That desire itself. And so when you have that desire, then that teacher can be very near to you. And then she says, and this is actually the most interesting part, for one who does not know me, I am a beggar before him. For one who does not know me, I am a beggar before him. The word beggar is really interesting, because it could mean someone who pleads, someone who begs. So for one who does not know me, I am the one who begs you to know me. Even though Ma knew that everyone is an aspect of enlightened essence nature, everyone is produced, all of these experiences of self are all produced by the self. Even though she knew that you are me and you are me and you are me and you are me, she was fully enlightened. And she knew that. She still exhorted people to practice. She still voiced a passionate desire for other people to do sadhana. So, for one who does not know me, I am your externalized desire. I am the beggar. I am the one voicing that desire for you to practice, for you to realize, for you to wake up. I am exhorting you. I am begging you. The other idea of beggar is someone who is impoverished. I am a beggar before you, meaning I'm impoverished before you. And that's a really interesting way to think of the teacher standing before a student who does not know enough to desire to wake up. Your lack of desire to wake up is an impoverishment. It's like a teacher who is impoverished. The outer guru then reflects that, has that experience before you. If your desire to wake up is not strong enough, if you don't yet know what the purpose of life is, that is, you could say that your inner guru is impoverished and the outer guru is also then impoverished, can do nothing, has nothing, is not able to give you anything. And then the third meaning of beggar is someone who is asking you for something. Give something. Give, give, give. Right. So the teacher who is standing before someone who is relatively ignorant of that desire to wake up, of the desire to know your own self, of the desire to realize, is the one who is asking you to open your heart and give. Give something from your heart. Give me something, give me something. And certainly this is, what Ma is talking about is certainly my experience as a teacher. The teacher stands there being your desire in full measure. Everybody has partial desire. Even, I have partial desire because I still waste time doing stuff that is completely useless. Right? Watching reruns of Alias or something like that. To the extent that one is distracted from one's real purpose in life, one is lacking in full desire. But nonetheless, for someone like myself, not enlightened, but having some realization and a more desire than most of the people around me, in a way, I find myself serving as the externalized desire for my students. and asking and asking and asking and watching people trying to straddle the world of ordinary desires and the world of the desire and the form of life of desire to wake up. And feeling what that does to my own heart. The more I see you struggling with that conflict between directing desire towards the ordinary, the conventional, that which is temporary, which will always go away, which will never, ever, ever be fulfilling, which will not bring you peace. It simply won't. There is no desire, even healthy desires, that are not directed toward waking up and discovering your real nature. There is no desire and no fulfillment of that desire that ever will assuage your anxiety about your existence. Never will it do that. And even though I'm not enlightened, to whatever extent I have realized the self, I have realized it to the extent that I recognize that it's the only refuge. It's the only refuge from impermanence. It's the only refuge from anxiety. It's the only refuge from fear. It's the only refuge from loneliness. It is the only refuge. And to whatever extent each one of you, my students, and I know there's a lot of people in here that are not my students, who are here for the first time, but for my students and for anyone who crosses my path, watching you directing your desires toward what is ultimately unsatisfying has an effect on me of causing me to desire very, very keenly that you discover what life actually is and direct your desire there. So this is the kind of beggar that I think Ma is talking about. Someone who is asking you to give that, to give your desire, to give it out, to put it in the right direction, to open your heart. And when you don't do that, I feel that desire for you. It's really interesting. The situation of a teacher and a student arises together. There is no separate student and separate teacher. There can't, just on a logical, ordinary level, there can't be a student without a teacher or a teacher without a student. But when we're talking about that process of you discovering the self, discovering who you really are, what this world really is, this is this natural technology of teacher and student that's arising together. And so everything that you do is something that I am also doing along with you in my way as teacher. You are not doing anything on your own as a student of a teacher. Everything that you're feeling, everything that you're doing, everything that you're not doing, everything that you're not feeling, there is an automatic response in me. Automatic. Right. And to whatever extent you are losing your way, I am desiring you to refine it. To whatever extent you are ignoring wisdom, I am desiring you for you to find it and follow it. That's the alchemy of this situation. So the guru is not just your external wisdom, your external guru, someone who knows something more about the self than you do. Your guru is also your external desire, your external confidence, the reflection of the confidence in your heart and the desire in your heart that is there to be discovered by you. And the thing is, it's not anything I can give you. I'm just reflecting it to you. I can't give it to you. You have to discover it on your own. And that's where the beggar part comes in. Right? I've often mentioned in the Buddhist tradition, they call the teacher the mother without arms. Right? If you're drowning in a pond or a lake, the mother without arms cannot jump in and save you. But they will stand on the side crying for you. He'll stand on the bank calling your name and crying for you to come out of the water and get back on solid ground. I really don't know why this happened, but somehow I just have utter confidence in this process. And that confidence makes me understand that waking up and discovering what is actually happening here and who you really are is worthy of every minute of your life, every ounce of your energy, all your attention, and walking through every fear that you've got. Your conventional mind, with its conventional desires, is so paltry compared to what this world actually is. When you move through it with the wisdom of your heart, when you find wisdom and follow wisdom, in your own heart, through a teacher, using things like divination, any way that you can directly hear what wisdom is advising you, any way you can do it, and there's so many different ways. It will lead you to a world that is so much richer, right? Full of confidence and compassion and mercy and magic. And it is simply not worth following conventional mind. The blah, blah, blah of all your fears and rationalizations and what ifs that goes on in your mind all day long. It is simply not worth fighting that or following it. You can gain nothing by that but more of the same. So it's my desire for all of you that you somehow, because I can't tell you how to do it, I don't even know how I did it or if I did it, but somehow find your way to this confidence that I have. That's what I really desire for you more than anything. Because I have fears just like you do. And I started out no different from you when I was in my 20s and started practicing. And I was full of ideas about everything. And had all kinds of tensions and fixations going on. But I was following something. I was always following something. And it's been the same thing I've been following my whole life. And now that I've been doing this practice for so long, I know what it is, and it's much more present to me than it used to be. I don't get distracted as much from it. And I know from a lifetime of experience that it is infallible. Absolutely infallible. So infallible that even if you follow it in error, you mishear, or you fumble along, you do something clumsily, even if you stumble while you're following it, the very act of following it brings the reward. The surrender and sincerity of following wisdom is what brings the reward. So what I wish for all of you, and this is my last night here until next fall, what I wish for all of you is that you find your own confidence and follow wisdom with confidence, regardless of your fears, in the face of your fears, in the face of your conventional mind, in the face of disapprobation from anybody around you, or any internalized criticisms of yourself that you've absorbed from other people around you, or no matter how outlandish that wisdom, that voice of wisdom seems to be, from whatever source you hear it. I just wish so much for all of you to just be able to follow that, to have that confidence that I also have, to find that confidence within yourself, to know that no matter what, that voice is always right. It's always the best course. That's what God is at our little level of human existence. Right? God is that desire. God is that voice of wisdom. That is your inner guru. That is your outer guru, or whatever, however you find it. I really just wish that everyone right now would throw aside their conventional mind and really listen to the heart of wisdom and follow that. That's what I hope will happen. I know it'll happen someday, but I wish it would happen right now. I have always lived my life like this. Before I had any spirituality, before I cared about anything spiritual, even when I was a very little girl, there was just something there that I was following, this sense of that. So when I say a lifetime of following, I really do mean a lifetime. Just the quiet wonder of living every day, having confidence in nature, understanding that there's wisdom here and there's compassion here, and that it's all okay, we're okay. Just that. I mean, people are looking for what? Kundalini rising, some big sparkly thing to happen. That is nothing compared to just the everyday, minute by minute sense of rest and refuge that you get when you follow wisdom. There's really nothing that compares to that. And just being able to love people and open your heart and go along moment by moment, feeling things out and not worrying about 10 days from now or 10 weeks from now or 10 years from now. Understanding that you're in a living situation, a living world, a living cosmos, and that you're being communicated to, and you can communicate back, and it's marvelous.